Hollywood was stunned, not by another messy breakup or a box office bomb, but by a lawsuit so massive it could shake the very foundations of comedy. Rising star Rachel Zegler reportedly dropped a 9-figure defamation lawsuit against the fearless creators of South Park, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone. This wasn't just petty celebrity drama, it was a full-blown bare-knuckle showdown built for the modern age of headlines and internet chaos. On one side, a young actress still navigating the storm of Disney's controversial Snow White reboot. On the other, two veteran satirists who've built careers gleefully dragging pop culture figures through the mud, consequences be damned. The stage was set for a battle pitting a princess against paper cutouts, with $100 million on the line. The drama exploded after South Park aired an absolutely brutal episode that took direct aim at all the controversy surrounding Rachel Zegler's updated take on Disney's classic princess. True to their style, Parker and Stone held nothing back, turning online chatter into animated chaos. Phrases ripped from interviews, like pushing for more modern takes or changing iconic moments, were twisted into ridiculous plot points. We saw their animated Rachel swagger through a fantasy kingdom, smartphone in hand like some kind of royal bling, firing off bold, out-of-touch takes on history, Hollywood power dynamics, and culture wars. Each scene went harder than the last, culminating in a ridiculous musical number that seemed to drag big-budget remakes and studio decisions. While fans were cracking up at the over-the-top absurdity, the real Rachel Zegler was reportedly not amused. Initially, whispers suggested she'd simply brush it off. "She's too smart for that," some insiders claimed. "She knows how South Park operates." But that talk didn't last. Just days later, the news broke like a tidal wave. Rachel Zegler was filing a $100 million lawsuit over the episode. At first, many speculated it was just a scare tactic, maybe a move to force an apology or a public retraction. But then her legal team came in swinging. Hard. Papers were filed. Accusations were flying. She claimed the episode didn't just joke, it absolutely crushed her career image. Her lawyers argued it portrayed her as a spoiled, clueless star who single-handedly derailed a massive movie, pushing claims that felt less like parody and more like character assassination. The legal filing reportedly called out specific scenes, like cartoon Rachel appearing to pocket money from the film's budget with a sarcastic jab about budget snacks costing $40 million. Rachel's team labeled these depictions not just unfair, but maliciously false. According to the lawsuit, the impact was immediate and severe. Job offers that were reportedly on the table started evaporating almost instantly after the episode aired. One studio, it was claimed, told her team they wanted to wait for things to cool off, citing how badly the cartoon portrayal had damaged her public image. For Rachel's camp, this wasn't abstract artistic debate. This was proof that the episode was actively damaging her career, affecting real money and real future opportunities. It suggested that the line had been crossed from edgy satire to something with tangible negative consequences for her livelihood. News of the lawsuit reportedly dropped while Parker and Stone were wrapping up a writers' meeting in Culver City. Staffers described every phone buzzing simultaneously, with push notifications from major entertainment news outlets. The co-creators locked eyes. Annoyed, yes, but also with a hint of their usual mischievous entertainment. These guys had weathered countless legal threats before, from angry religious groups, powerful corporations, even protesters outside Comedy Central's doors. But a single actor demanding 9 figures? That was certainly new territory. One writer reportedly cracked, "Guess we're finally worth $100 million each." Nervous laughter followed, but beneath the jokes, there was genuine tension. Trey and Matt recognized how dramatically times had changed since South Park first debuted in '97. Back then, late-night cable allowed wild satire to fly under the radar. Now, every single joke hits the internet like a bomb, dissected and shared with millions within seconds. They knew that if a court ruled their Snow White parody was defamation, it wouldn't just hurt. It could jeopardize their entire future, including that massive Paramount Plus deal rumored to be worth nearly $1 billion. Suddenly, South Park's famous nothing's off limits energy faced its biggest legal test yet. But what was happening outside the walls of Comedy Central was just as wild. Online reactions exploded into total chaos. Those who saw Rachel Zegler as a victim of relentless internet hate and unfair criticism rallied fiercely behind her. They called the lawsuit brave, even heroic, for standing up against what they dubbed unchecked animation harassment. Meanwhile, others weren't having it at all. They championed Parker and Stone as the last true defenders of unfiltered, take-no-prisoners comedy, rallying behind trending hashtags like "satire is not slander." Late-night hosts couldn't resist jumping into the drama, joking about the princess versus paper cutout war. Cable news panels were packed with legal experts debating one wild question: can a cartoon actually count as defamation? The public conversation wasn't just split, it was a full-blown cultural shouting match. Inside the South Park offices, Parker and Stone reportedly locked down. Their gut reaction, as they've done countless times before, was to flip the entire situation into an episode, mocking themselves and the lawsuit itself. But this time, their lawyers reportedly slammed the brakes hard. Any joke made now, they warned, could backfire in court, potentially seen as retaliation or fuel for more legal trouble. So, in a rare twist, the duo famous for poking every bear in the forest chose silence, at least publicly. Behind closed doors, however, they couldn't help themselves. Sketch ideas reportedly flew around: a puppet trial where cartoon versions of them took the stand, a sad ballad called "Sue Me Gently," even courtroom sketch art that looked like toddler drawings. But all of it stayed locked away, waiting for when legal restrictions might lift. While the creators maintained their public silence, Rachel Zegler was reportedly bouncing between fierce determination and pure exhaustion. People close to her claimed she wasn't just suing for money. She saw this as sending a powerful message: "I'm not some easy target." Rachel reportedly felt that if she didn't push back now, she'd forever be defined by that joke in a dress with a phone, trapped in memes and punchlines. Critics online called her dramatic, pointing out that major icons like Tom Cruise, Kanye, and even the Queen had been roasted worse. But supporters fired back that those icons have established careers and massive fan bases that won't flinch over a cartoon. Rachel, still on her come-up, was far more vulnerable to being defined by one viral moment and a brutal cartoon. As the lawsuit worked its way through the Los Angeles court system, Parker and Stone finally broke their public silence, doing so with two brief, professional lines. "We believe strongly in the right to parody public figures and public events. We look forward to a vigorous defense of that right." Clean, professional, no shots fired. But insiders claimed the moment their legal team gave clearance, they were ready to transform the entire saga into comedy gold. Legal experts watching the case said everything would hinge on one crucial, razor-thin question: where is the line between savage satire and defamation? Previous rulings typically protect jokes that no reasonable person would take literally. But Rachel's team argued this case walked that razor's edge. They focused on the animated episode's outrageous song, where cartoon Rachel belted out a song claiming she rewrote iconic scenes just to cash bigger checks. While many fans might laugh it off as obvious parody, Rachel's legal team argued not everyone watching had the media literacy to recognize it as such. They presented evidence. Reportedly, actual social media posts from viewers convinced Rachel really had hijacked production or made outrageous demands. Her lawyers claimed this proved the cartoon didn't just mock, it actively distorted reality and misled viewers. Parker and Stone's defense fired back, arguing, "Hardly." They presented what were claimed to be mountains of online posts, showing fans widely mocking the episode's absurd exaggeration. Their message was clear: nobody with common sense could possibly take this seriously. The whole thing was a ridiculous skit designed purely to make people laugh, not spread false claims. They leaned hard on First Amendment arguments, insisting that satire must push boundaries or creativity dies. Adding another layer, though not officially named in the suit, Disney executives were reportedly sweating over potential courtroom revelations about their internal decisions, especially regarding Snow White's bloated budget. If subpoenas started demanding production notes or email chains mentioning Parker and Stone's parody, Disney's legal team reportedly stood ready to shut it down immediately. The court set a trial date for early the following year. The timing raised eyebrows. If Rachel booked new acting gigs, the lawsuit could explode again during red carpet season, and South Park would be planning their next season, potentially setting up an on-air response once legal restrictions loosened. Entertainment